Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show is still post Afcon reactions of yesterday's matches that was played between Cameroon and Ethiopia, and also between Cape Verde and Burkina Faso. Next me here I have with the usual suspect Roland. Roland, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Philip. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, good to have you on the show this morning. I know you are in transit, as I can see from behind. You're in the car going to the office this morning. But I just appreciate your effort in trying to be with us on the show as possible as you can. We'll still have John also coming in on the show. But let me ask you, for the first time we've seen more than two goals scored in Afcon. Cameroon
For the
trashed.
second time, sorry.
For the second time, sorry. For the first time, more than two goals scored. More than two goals, yes, for the second time. Yes, for the second time.
Yeah, for the second time.
Yeah, more than two goals scored. When you see Cameroon trashed Ethiopia yesterday by 4-1, and also the one then from we expected that the second game will follow that same suit, but Burkina Faso couldn't really add to their goals when they also beat Cape Verde 1-0 as well. So, how do you see Cameroon? They are the hosts. Do you see them as a potential champion going into this Afcon? As we progress going along, as we progress in this Afcon, or you just see that Ethiopia were out there for the taking?
Yeah. Before the tournament actually started, I saw Cameroon as my own dark horse. A lot of, whenever in tournament, you always have dark horse, you have favorites, and you have those that just complete the numbers. But for me personally, I feel that the Cameroonian national team are my own dark horse. I wasn't surprised that they scored a lot of goals. Yesterday against Ethiopia. Just like a friend of mine actually said, Ethiopia has no business being in the Afcon. What they know how to do is running marathon races and what have you. But this is football. A lot of countries in Africa are growing and everything. But for the Cameroonians yesterday, that was their best performance in the Afcon Cup of Nations tournament so far. Of course, they played their first match against Burkina Faso. They came from a goal down to actually won that one by 2-1. Then yesterday also, I was in the office watching that game. They came from a goal down to also win that one by 4-1. It was an impressive performance from the likes of Toko Kambi and Guisa that plays for Napoli, and also Vincent Abubakar. I think for the Ethiopians, they knew that they were going to lose to Cameroon. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe they didn't expect that it would be up to that amount of goal margin. But of course, this is football. A lot of things can happen. There are a lot of favorites. There are a lot of teams that are better. And for the Cameroonians yesterday, it was a morale booster. It was a big win. It was a needed win for them. Of course, they are looking for their fifth Afcon Cup of Nations title. They've won just 4. They've won 4. They are the second most successful team in African football. As long as CAF competition is concerned, or the Afcon competition is concerned, second only to Egypt. So yesterday against the Ethiopians, it was just a one-way traffic, and I expected them to win, and they did just that.
Okay, that's good. Do you think that if they had a formidable side, if they are playing against a formidable side yesterday, do you think that if a team like Ghana or Nigeria had led 1-0, do you think that the Cameroonians can really come back? I just want to know your view with regards to that, because going forward we'll be meeting top teams when we go into the knockout stages. Do you think that they should avoid
Yeah, in some occasions when you play against a bigger team and you concede one goal, then you'll be hoping that you're going to come back. Sorry, it is, you can't always have it your way. But of course, they played against Burkina Faso, who were 2013 finalists against Super Eagles of Nigeria, although that team seems to have changed. And then the second leg was their second match was against an Ethiopia side that was for the taking. If they were playing against the likes of Super Eagles, like you said, the likes of Egypt, the likes of Morocco, and then you're going to go down, then you're hoping that you're going to come back and win that game. Of course, they can still come back, but the chances of coming back will not be as huge like the way they did against Burkina Faso and also Ethiopia.
Okay. Hello, John. Good morning, John. Can you hear me? John, can you hear me?
Pound and dollar, which one senior for us?
John, can you hear me, please? Since we always have network
765 naira times.
Okay.
John, you have to change your internet, oh.
Going forward, can we look at Burkina Faso? Burkina Faso led Cameroon in the last match by a lone goal. In the first half, and before in the first, I think it was before the first half. The penalty madness in that match started in the first half. Saw them yesterday played against Cape Verde, and they won 1-0. What do you think about them going into that? I just think that they've also qualified technically, because I think they'll be too strong for the Ethiopians at the end of the day. What did you see in that match yesterday with regards to their performance?
Well, I saw a Burkina Faso team that, okay, guys, we lost the first leg. Our first again, the host nation, Cameroon, they are more successful than us in African football. Are we still going to lose the second leg? Dust yourself up and let's see what we can get from the second encounter. And that was what they just did against the Cape Verdeans. It wasn't the best of performance from both sides. It was just a scrappy match. Of course, like when we our first day of football nutmeg, I actually said between Cape Verde and Burkina Faso, any of them can actually finish second behind Cameroon, and it looks like the Burkina Faso are going to be the second team behind behind Cameroon in the Afcon in that Group A, because of course the game between them and Burkina Faso, the game between them and Cape Verde was open for anybody. There was no clear-cut favorite in that game, because even if you look at their head-to-head records in football, the Cape Verdeans have even won them more as regards Afcon. But of course, the Burkina Faso side has actually won whenever they play them. They qualify a Afcon Cup of Nations qualifiers or a friendly international. But that yesterday encounter, it was open for anybody, and it was the Burkina Faso that actually took their chances. They had their chance and they converted it, and they were able to just hold on to a narrow 1-0 victory, which was not the best of game, like I said. But of course, a win is a win. 3 points is 3 points. Now you know your last game is against the underdogs, against the least ranked team in that group, which are the Ethiopians. And I want to believe the Burkina Faso team, will get all 3 points against the Ethiopians when they meet in their last group stage match in this Afcon.
So it seems Group A is almost done and dusted. Let's look at Group B going forward. Group B matches are today. Group B and some other matches. We have 4 matches we play today. 2 from Group B and another 2 from Group C as well. Now Senegal will play against Guinea. Those are the 2 powerhouses in that group. Morocco in Group D, in Group C will also square up against, if I'm not mistaken, against Comoros. But let's look at Senegal first of all. They found it so difficult to break down an average, I would call it an average team, such as Zambia in the first match. How do you think they will fare against another average team like Comoros going into this match today that will be played by 12 p.m. Nigerian time?
Well, for the Senegalese in their first match, of course, Senegal and Algeria, they are the favorites. They played the last 2019 final where Algeria actually won. For the Senegalese team, I think they have this should be a golden generation for them. They've also have it in time past, the likes of El Hadji Diouf, the guy that used to play for Fulham. So the guy that used to play for Fulham. But for Senegalese team, you have a team consisting of Sadio Mane, one of the top players in the English Premier League. Then you also have Mendy. That's the goalkeeper that keeps for Chelsea, the best goalkeeper in last season UEFA Champions League.
He was absent in the first match.
Because of COVID-19, but I'm sure he's going to be back in the second game today against Comoros Island. But for that game between Senegal and Comoros Island, I don't think Senegal will need to win another 1-0. I don't think they will need to wait for a 90th minute penalty to actually get their Afcon kick started. But I want to believe they are going to get a resounding victory against Comoros Islands today. And for Comoros Island, they will be up against a Senegalese team that looks very good on paper. Of course, if Comoros end up losing to Senegal, it will be a bad result for them. It will be all doom and gloom for them because, of course, you're coming up against a powerhouse, one of the best ranked team in African football, one of the best team in Africa. So if you end up losing against them, I think you can always beat your chest up and look forward to your next match. But like I said, the Senegalese are going to defeat them probably by 2 or 3 goals margin today.
Senegal are playing Guinea, not Comoros, please.
Okay, sorry. Senegal against Guinea. That's also another strong team in that group. I think the game is going to be fascinating. It will be a battle of Liverpool players. Now you're seeing Naby Keita for Guinea. Then you're seeing Mane for Senegal. Of course, they know each other. They play in both teams. They are being played by one football club. I think it's going to be open. I can't really pinpoint that Senegal will get all 3 points against a Guinea side that actually won their first game. So both teams have 3 points apiece in that group. I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be open. The team that can actually take more of their chance will be the one that will end up winning that encounter today, 2 p.m. Nigerian time, like you said. But I will not be rooting for Senegal because I know Guinea is also a solid team. Guinea, they are a perennial African team. They are a team they've been in African Cup of Nations for a very long time and they are consistent. And so I think the game is going to be open for both sides.
Okay, Zimbabwe were beaten by Senegal and Malawi also beaten by Guinea. So they will also be playing by 5 p.m. today. How do you see that match squaring up? I think both of them will going into this match. So how do you think that match is squaring up?
The half that will come to me and
yeah, for the Zimbabwean national team, they've been neither here nor there. But of course, it feels good that they are part of the Afcon Cup of Nations and also Malawi. This shows you that African football is growing. You can imagine a team like South Africa, they did not qualify for the Afcon Cup of Nations. Also Kenya are not in the Afcon Cup of Nations. You can also look at Libya, the crisis and everything. They're also not part of African Cup of Nations. So you're seeing even new teams and teams that has been long since they last participated in African football, the biggest football in Africa, coming forth to participate in this Cameroon 2021 tournament that would have held last year, but due to COVID, it was shifted to January 2022. I think that game between Zimbabwe and Malawi is actually open for both teams because, of course, both teams lost their first game by narrow defeat to Senegal and also to Guinea, because each of them also will be fighting to actually get that 3rd best placed team, so they will qualify for the next round. That's the round of 16 in the Afcon Cup of Nations. So it's actually open, but I will just lean towards the Zimbabweans because I feel they have experience. I want to believe they can control the midfield. I want to believe their defense is even more solid than that of the Malawians. So, but I'll just tune slightly towards the side of the Zimbabwean national team. I want to believe they'll get the edge over their Malawian counterparts today.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me bring John to the show. John, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you unmute your mic, please? Can you unmute your mic?
Yes, even at the site, we have 2 gates around it. So
John need to change his internet provider.
I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead, please. John, today will be. Can you hear me?
It was once later reported to Colin.
Abi.
Can you hear me, John?
So it's terrible. If you see what these people are doing to us, it's very, very terrible. Thank you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, today I want you to look
yes,
at.
I can hear you.
I want you to look at Group C for us. You can look at Group C and tell us what will happen in Group C today. Group C will comprise.
I can hear you clearly.
I know, I understand. I can hear you too.
At the same time.
Okay, let's look at Group C, John. Morocco will be squaring up against Comoros and Ghana against Gabon. Can you look at Morocco? Can you tell us what will happen in that match between Morocco and Comoros and Ghana against Gabon? Let's start with Morocco Comoros, please.
11 o'clock. If we go there, okay by you. 11 o'clock in the morning.
Hello. Let me take John off. Okay, let's look at.
I think your network is bad.
Yes, it's still bad. Let's look at the Morocco Comoros. Morocco won with a narrow victory against the Ghanaian side, though a very difficult match they played against the Ghanaian side because the Ghanaian side that were so strong and powerful, but they edged it out by 1-0. Also, can you think that Comoros stand a chance against this Moroccan side?
Well, in the first game, you expected the game to be open between Ghana and Morocco, but of course, it was a solitary goal by the Moroccans that actually took them to 3 points in that group against their West African rivals. But for Ghana, I don't think they want to lose their second match. For Morocco, like we said, they are a solid team. They are also one of the favorites. But in this Afcon Cup of Nations tournament, I just feel a lot of this North African team, I want to believe they will be fatigued because, of course, they just played in this Arab competition before the Afcon started, not even up to 1 full month of rest. So, although most of their senior players or their players based in abroad were not part of that tournament because they know that the Afcon tournament was going to start, which is even bigger than the Arab Cup. I don't want to know what anybody's saying. But for the Moroccans today against Comoros, I want to believe they are going to get more 3 points against them because they are fully prepared and knowing fully well that their main challenger was actually the Ghanaian national team. But of course, when they came up against Ghana, they actually got that narrow 1 victory against the Ghanaian national team. It will not be anything different for them. I think they will be ready to pack a lot of goals today because the Moroccan national team, they will be well fired and they will be well prepared for this encounter.
Okay, Ghana, our West African brothers, just our neighbors here. When I look at the Ghanaian side, when I really look at the Ghanaian side, I see a star-studded side in the Ghanaian team. Made up of players playing their trade in England. Majority of them are in England, but they just failed to perform against the Moroccan in their last match. How can you explain how they should approach this match? Knowing fully well that a win today will give them a slight edge to qualify. Will give them a slight edge to qualify for this group or maybe a second place.
For the Ghanaian national team, they've been neither here nor there. They've not been consistent. Now you need your best players, the RU brothers, to actually perform at a high level. If they perform at a high level, national team can actually do well in this tournament. They need to start scoring goals. They need to put their hands together. Because Ghana is also a football crazy nation. They are passionate about football, and a lot of their fans were actually disappointed that they couldn't get something against Morocco because a draw would have been better than it did for today's encounter. I want to believe Ghana will go all out and get those needed massive 3 points because, of course, you actually need those 3 points to stand a chance of progressing in the Afcon Cup of Nations. So for Ghana,
yes, John, can you hear me, John?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Roland. I can hear you.
Yeah. So I'm just getting into the office now. So I want to believe for Ghana it's a must win. Like this is a final for them. This is a must win for them. They must definitely win this match if they want to stand a chance of progressing.
Okay, John, do you see Ghana beating Gabon in this group?
You see?
Yes, I can hear you.
If I show you and for both even the carry me call me at 700. Though. See, if you say you want see, if you follow this hill, I agree with you. I do on this thing. See he.
Can you, John? Can you hear me? Sorry to our viewers, please. Do you see Ghana beating Gabon in this group, please?
I can't really tell based on the based on what we are having. Based on what we are having at the moment, because as at the last matches, I saw two teams Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Go ahead, please. I can hear you. Go ahead.
As I said earlier, I said I can't really say. I will be looking at a very, very low scoring match if it did the 1-0 trend. Yes. Okay. I said it will be following the trend that we are having. If it's maybe a one goal win to either side, because surprisingly both teams have been having very, very. I'm talking actually. Both teams are having very poor tournaments at the moment. Uh, Despite Gabon were able to pull off that victory against Comoros, I was less than impressed with Talisman in Aubameyang. They should have a very better match against Ghana. I would expect the problem that we've been having in this tournament has been surprising because we have very open matches here, it's very fair to end, yet putting up goals has been the problem. So what I'll be expecting is that at the end of today, there should be a winner between those two matches. And yes, I see a winner coming in, but I can't tell you which of them is going to have it.
Okay, if Gabon virtually pin Ghana, that will be the end of Ghana in this tournament. Basically, that's how I see it. But I can also see the Ghanaians.
Well, it will be a surprise. It will be a surprise.
Yes, I can also see the Ghanaians to be too strong for the
It will be a surprise.
The Gabonese have Aubameyang and Lemela coming back into the match today. I just think that the Ghanaians have to be very, very careful. They don't need to be. They don't need to be. How will I will use the word? They don't need to be cautious. They have to go all out for the 3 points, and also have to make sure that their backs are being shot out. I am also not convinced about the final third of.
That for me will be the issue.
Okay, go ahead, please.
That for me will be the issue for the Ghanaians, because the Ghanaians all of a sudden they've had this problem of evolution. They've not been able to move on into the next stage. We've been seeing the same set since 2010, and up to today, that is practically the same set of boys that we are having. That is one of the biggest problems they are having. By now, one would have expected that Jordan Ayew should be maybe the leader in that team. But what you see is almost everybody in that team is still the old group, kettle of fish. For the Gabonese, they've been able to have that first win that is very, very important, because I would expect everybody in that group to be able to beat Comoros. So it all depends on whatever comes up today. That's why I'm seeing a situation where Gabon will play for the draw. And if that happens, that definitely should mean that 3 teams will qualify for that group. If you remember last week, I said that it's likely that group is going to be that one of the groups that will produce three qualifiers for the next round. So what I'll be expecting is Ghanaians should come out and play. They should come out and play, but at the same time, you cannot give someone of the class of Aubameyang, in whatever respect he is in. You know that yes, he's at one of the lowest points of his career, but whatever respect he is in, you can't give him too much of an inch in the name of trying to look for that victory. If the Ghanaians can get a draw, they should be okay with it and go for the victory against Comoros. That is what I would advise. Go for a large scoring victory against Comoros, but ensure you don't lose to Gabon, so that at least you come second, then get a favorable draw in the next round.
Okay. Generally in the Afcon, they've been 10-1. Is it 10 or 9-1 wins? If I'm not mistaken. In the
10 now. 10 now. The last one yesterday made it 10.
10-9 wins in the Afcon tournament. I want to say this. Can we really say that finishing has been a problem of teams in this tournament? Outside Cameroon that has come back from two matches.
You've got it expressly. Chance of it hasn't been a tournament of very cagey football. No, the only match I can say was very, very cagey was the Sengal Zimbabwe match, where practically I don't think both keepers touched the ball an aggregate of 20 times. It was just being played in the middle of the park. But otherwise, you keep seeing chances being created and chances not being taken. For me, it has just been finishing, and it shows the level of strikers we have in Africa. If you look at the Cameroonian,
do you agree with me that we should have that the problem we are having in Africa is coaching and not the players?
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say yes, and I wouldn't say no. I would say I wouldn't say yes, and I wouldn't say no. Why do I say this? Doubly over the years, we've always known African football to be low scoring. But the issue has always been that because of the way they play the football, it's always so difficult, so stressful. But this tournament that we've seen is a tournament that the introduction of VAR has reduced the nasty tackles we used to see normally in African football. The football is a lot more cleaner. What remains is for the players to actually put in what they should do. No coach can teach you that this is where to. This is no coach can teach you that this is where to place the ball. This is naturally that should come to you as a striker. What the coach is there for is to give you the tactics to break down defenses. And we've been able to see that defenses have been broken down times without number. What remains now is for those who claim to be at the creme de la creme of their career to do what they are expected to do. If Vincent Abubakar now that is at the top of the goal scorers chart with 4 goals, is not the leading goal scorer in Saudi Arabia. We are missing perhaps some of the good strikers that should have come for this tournament. Mali, I was surprised I saw them without Yatabari. So some of all these other better finishers would have shown their classes. The problem for me is I think most of what we have at the moment in terms of our finishers are not the best. If we go to most of all these countries where you see African strikers maybe being the top 5, the top 6, they are not the ones from very known countries. Or perhaps they are the ones who are actually playing for some European countries as adopted countries. Those who are practically for Africa and are in Africa. Okay, look at Ale for example now. In their match on Wednesday, Ale was in the match, but practically you could not tell that this was the same Ale that we keep seeing in Ajax.
I insist. That's why I insist that it's part of it's still part of the coaching. See, I just think that how many? Okay, look at the entire team. Roland, can you hear me, please? Hello, Roland, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, when we look at the entire team in Afcon, how many homegrown African coaches are in Afcon, and how many foreign based are also in the Afcon? I think that we have virtually like 50-50 on either side, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
What we are talking yes, on either side. But what we are still talking about is that we've had 10-1 in Afcon. And I was of an opinion that do you think that coaching is our problem, or rather it's the players that is our problem? Because you can't have teams creating chances and they don't take the chances. They don't take the chances. So is it coaching or players that's our problem?
If I'm to come in, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
If I'm to come in, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
I hear you.
So personally, I feel it has a lot to do with the players. I don't think it's about coaching, because of course, if you're not creating those chances for your strikers, if your midfielders are not performing at top level, then I don't think it's the fault of any coach. Look at Frank Kessie, for instance. He's one of the best players in AC Milan. Like, he's even their penalty taker. Sometimes he wears their captain armband. But look at him look at him when he played for his country, Ivory Coast. He was a shadow of himself. You know, a lot of these guys are like this. Like, you don't even see the best of them at this level. But I just feel fatigue could be a factor. Sebastian Haller, like we've been talking about, is the highest goal scorer currently in the UEFA Champions League, if I'm not mistaken, maybe alongside Lewandowski. But of course, he has come to his country, and those goals he was scoring for Ajax Amsterdam is not happening. We are not seeing it for the Ivory Coast national team. So I think basically the players need to up their game and take their chances. It has nothing whatsoever to do with coach, because the coach has actually put up his best team. He has put up his best 11, and they are not performing at a high level. Do you expect the coach to go to the pitch of play and play those things? Of course, I don't expect him to score those goals, but the players should be. So the players accept responsibility, and hopefully we'll see more goals. But thanks to Cameroon now, we saw 4 goals yesterday. Match day 1, we also scored 3 goals. Hopefully, when the Super Eagles will come up against Sudan on Saturday, we are going to see more goals. So you can't tell me Taiwo Awoniyi or Moses Simon or Ian Acho missing chances, then it has to be the fault of Austin Eguavoen. Austin Eguavoen should be running on the pitch and be scoring goals. Come on, Eguavoen cannot be doing that. So I expect the players to do that.
I think, John, I think it's both ways. I'll agree with you. How can we improve going forward, John? How can we get more goals, more flair into the African Bissau work in Africa? How can we get more flair and more better coaching into our football in Africa? Can you hear me, John?
Well, for me, I would say there's a thought we are not considering. You can hear you can.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Hello.
Go ahead. I can hear you.
I can hear you.
It's a background sound somewhere, please. I don't know where the background sound is.
It could be for me.
Yes,
Let me mute
one of the problems that we are not putting into consideration is one of the problems we are not putting into consideration is the weather change. Yes, I think it's coming from Roland.
Okay,
yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hello.
Go ahead.
I would say what we are not actually putting into consideration has been the very sharp weather change that most of these players have to. Yes, most of these players have to adjust to. Most of them are coming from the very, very harsh cold of winter in Europe into the wicked sun and wicked sunshine in Africa at the moment. It's really affecting most of the play. The referee that had an issue in the Tunisia-Mali game blamed it on weather. Most of these players, you can see how dehydrated and strained some of them are just after halftime. Not because they want to be, but the weather changes affecting most of them. So I think we should give them time to actually play into the tournament. Yes, we've seen a scenario where I think they had a week or 2 weeks of acclimatization in the country. That once they come out, whoa, what is this? Their body system, everything is having to readjust to the heat of Cameroon. So I believe that as the tournament goes on and everybody starts getting used to back again to this new weather, the very harsh condition that has been reported in Cameroon, things will get better. Then you see more and more quality football. If you look at those who are, most of the teams that, just as you kept saying, those of the teams that came with very local-based players, they've been able to strain out those who came with foreign-based players. Look at the Senegalese team. The Senegalese team practically were begging Zimbabwe, please let us score. The Algerian team was practically straining themselves to get through the match because of the heat. And all of these things, some of them are still within Africa. Their weather is still okay at the moment. So, but I believe when the tournament gets on, and perhaps we have to start having less of these very early kickoffs, because most of the issues are coming from these very early kickoffs, where the sun is at its peak when they are playing them. So if the weather starts dropping and the tournaments keep going, I believe we'll see better finishing, better play from the players.
Okay, that's good. Okay, Roland, do you agree with what John said?
Absolutely. I even forgot that the weather was an issue. Okay, even here in Abuja, some of the afternoon I go out and I know how hot the weather is and everything. So you could see players in Yaoundé, Douala, Cameroon. The weather is also very hot over that part of the world. Yeah, so I quite agree with everything John said. But me, I don't always like giving excuses. You understand? There are times we also see in Europe when the weather is hot and they play good football. But of course, they probably will say the football level over in that part of the world is way higher than that in Africa, because you have more players.
You have to see that they are coming from winter.
Yeah, but this is not the first time this thing is going to happen. Now I'm even hearing from the sidelines that the next African Cup of Nations next year is going to be June, July.
It's in June. Yes, June, July. Yes.
It's in June. Okay, so you see, so now we are trying to align with Europe. But you know, then during those periods,
the reason why the Nations Cup was moved actually to December to this January and February was because of the harsh weather, because of the high amount of rainfall we have at this time of the year in Africa. Now, if you are going
in
to
the middle of the year,
yes, if you are going to take the Nations Cup
back to June,
time, yes, don't we really think that maybe the organizers of the Afcon, CAF and the local organizing committee of the country that will be hosting have other ideas that we don't really know. But I just think that we would also like it to be moved to the middle of the year so that whereby players will have a few time playing for their team without looking back and saying that okay, I left Liverpool, I left Arsenal, I left Manchester United, and I left Ajax to come and play for my country when I am fully aware that my team that are paying my dues needs me at this time, or my team are fighting for relegation, they need me at this time to be with them. I think it would be a wonderful idea if these considerations are put in so that there will not be much more constraints on the players, because I believe there's much more pressure at this very moment that we are speaking on African players plying their trade in Europe and other countries. We can see what happened to Igalo. Though that one aside, because he had a clause on his contract, you can see also what happened to some other players that were supposed to play for their team. Because
Yeah, Emmanuel Dennis and the rest of them.
for Emmanuel Dennis too, which is he didn't show that desire. Sar is injured, but he still went for the Afcon. Emmanuel Dennis for me, I think it's a separate issue entirely. But I just think
No,
that
2 days ago, Watford even tweeted a picture of Emmanuel Dennis training. So it shows you that if he wanted to be part of the squad, he was going to be part of the squad, but the club did not allow that to happen.
okay, to our esteemed viewers,
Text your LFF.
kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll soon come to the end of the show. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and help us grow. We are growing in numbers. I think we're about we are going to 40 subscribers now. It's just a new channel, so but we want you to take us to 100 to 1,000 subscribers if possible, and that is why when we come to the knockout stage, we'll be doing a giveaway. We are planning it. We'll be planning it, looking at how the giveaway will look like. We'll also try to see if we can bring you. We didn't bring you any match. We didn't bring our viewers any match yesterday, but hopefully today we'll bring you at least a match, and tomorrow definitely we'll bring you one more match. The Super Eagles match, we will broadcast the live update of those matches on this channel. We'll also do a preview tomorrow. I'll still have Roland and John, hopefully, and maybe one other person on the show tomorrow morning to come here to talk about the Super Eagles and how they will fare in tomorrow's match. Final words, my guys. Now the Afcon is gradually shaping off. We are seeing the boys being separated from the men. We are seeing some boys becoming men and some men becoming boys. So, but at this stage of the tournament, can we see teams that will go into the round of 16? Your predictions, if you can see teams that will go into the round of 16.
Well, for me, I would say. Are you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
For me, I wouldn't say. Okay, I wouldn't say some men are becoming boys, because for me, I would say the tournament really hasn't kicked off. But I expect that at the end of this second round of matches, everything should be laid bare. Definitely, we know that it's very likely that Ethiopia, just as someone said last week, that they will be the first to come and they will be the first to leave. They definitely almost are the first to leave the tournament. But I was they tried they head up by they were able to score a goal. Then will be the Comoros. So I think this match they should definitely be leaving the tournament as well. Then also I should be looking at in Nigeria's group. I'm looking at the possibility of Guinea-Bissau to also leaving our group or leaving the tournament. So let's give or take. I believe all the big teams will qualify to the next round. That is my belief.
Okay, how about you, Roland, please?
Well, for me, I think the tournament that actually kick-started, we always knew teams that will make progress. We always knew teams that will qualify for the next round. Maybe there might be one or two shocker, but like in our group, I've always said it's going to be Super Eagles and the Egyptian national team. Then you see the Ghana and Morocco, I feel they will also qualify. Then also Senegal, I think Senegalese and the Guinea national team, they will pull through. Then in Group A, you look at Cameroon, probably Cameroon and Burkina Faso. Of course, the tournament has started. It's just for the teams that you don't expect to do something to actually surprise people. But for neutrals, I think those big guys, those big teams, those countries with vastly experienced and better players, I think it's just a matter of time for you to start seeing the stuff they are made of. So the tournament is ongoing. The best teams will be there for me. Of course, we'll still be rooting for the Super Eagles of Nigeria even when they play against Sudan tomorrow.
Okay, in other news, before we go, we saw what happened between the match against Mali and Tunisia. And this morning, a breaking news just came out. There was a breaking news on the Afcon with regards to that match, when the Tunisians appealed that the match should be part of the match should be played again, and CAF turned down that appeal. Going forward, what do you think we should do in avoiding things like this? The referee himself made a blunder. He corrected himself, but towards the match, as the match hit the 90th minute, he called it, instead of adding much more time. He called that match off. What do you think we should do? The CAF and the Afcon organizer should do going forward with regards to things like this?
Well, I think this is not the first time we'll see such a thing. Even one of the best referees in the history of English football, Graham Paul, also made a blunder in the World Cup. Also in a La Liga match between Granada and Sevilla, the referee Seville. The referee also made a blunder. So we've seen these things. I think we are human beings. Nobody's above mistake. And hopefully, such a mistake will not happen. But this is the Afcon Cup of Nations. I don't want anybody to paint it in a bad light that we don't have quality world-class referees to officiate our games. That was why we saw that blunder. Because you can look at the Afcon, the history of Afcon, you've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like this happen. So mistakes do happen. But when you make such a mistake, you correct it. But for the Cape Eagles of Tunisia, they've lost. The Malians were better than them on that day, and they also knew it. The referee even gave them a penalty, but they failed to convert. So you can't blame the referee that they didn't score that goal as regards that particular encounter. Telling CAF that the more minutes should have been added, so probably 4 minutes, and you are not going to win that match in 3 or 4 minutes. The highest you can do is 1 point, and you get a draw. So they should move on and look forward to their next game. For the Malians, it was a well-deserved super victory for them against the Cape Eagles of Tunisia.
Okay. Thank you so much, Roland. We'll see you tomorrow on the show, hopefully. We'll have you come talk about the Super Eagles and how you see their match, how they will play in their match. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was a great show. I enjoyed even my ride from Abu Resettlement down to Asokoro. I was in a cab and coming to the office, and it was a good one. Thank God my network didn't mess up today. It was really great being on this show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you to our viewers. Kindly click on the subscribe button to take us to 100 and 100 to 1,000 and 1,000 upwards as well. View, like, make comments, and also send us an email with regards to what you think we should discuss in this Afcon or any other breaking news we have. Like I said, we will be ready for our giveaway. You have to like our page, and you have to be in Nigeria as well for us to give you a giveaway, for you to be eligible for that giveaway. Kindly subscribe to our channel, and hopefully you'll be part of the giveaway. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Philip Onugo, and I will see you in our next preview show for tomorrow. Preview and post match reaction for today, and the preview of tomorrow's matches. Thank you so much.